everyone. In this video, we are going to learn what is the random variable and the type of random variables. Before that, let's take a brief overview of the few terms related to the probability. The first term is experiment. Now, what do you mean by an experiment? It is an action or a process that leads to one or more possible results. Suppose we have a coin, and if I toss that coin, this is called an experiment. Why this is an experiment? Because इसमें हमने एक एक्शन परफॉर्म किया या एक प्रोसेस था जिसमें हमने टॉस किया कॉइन को and after that either you will get a head or a tail. That is called as a possible result. Taking one more example related to the experiment, suppose you have a dice, then you can roll that dice. So this is called an experiment. क्योंकि अगर आप डाइस को रोल करोगे you will check it कि उसके टॉप पे क्या नंबर आएगा. Also picking a card is called as an experiment. So whenever we are performing any experiment, we are getting a possible results, and that possible results are called as a outcome. Like in a tossing of a coin, the outcomes are head or tail. And in a rolling of a dice, the outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. Now when we collect all these outcomes in a one set, that is called as a sample space. So sample space is the set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. For example, in the tossing of the coins, what were the outcomes? That is head and tail. तो हमने इसको एक set में रख दिया. Now this is called as a sample space. And in case of dice, we have the sample space. And in the case of deck of 52 cards, total outcomes are 52. If you collect all the types of a card in a one set, that will be the sample space. Also note that this 1, 2, 3, 4 are called as an event. These are the basic terms used in a probability. Now we can move towards the random variable. What is the random variable? Suppose you have performed any random experiment. We have certain outcomes. Now, if we assign any real number to the outcomes, that is called as a random variable. To understand this, take an example. Suppose we have one experiment where we are flipping two coins. So what are the elements in a sample space? Either we have head head, क्योंकि दो coins है तो दोनों coins के ऊपर head हो सकता है, और head tail, और tail head, or tail tail. So this is the sample space when we are flipping two coins. Now if I say I need to count the number of heads when I am flipping two coins, so what are the possible values in that case? तो अगर आप दो coins को flip करते हो, आपको count क्या करना है? Heads. तो पहले केस में कितने heads हैं? In this case, head is equal to 2. In the next case, 1. In this case, 1. In this case, 0. तो पॉसिबल वैल्यूज ऑफ x क्या बनी हमारे पास? या तो हमारे पास एक भी हेड नहीं होगा, और we will get one head or two. So each outcome is associated with one real number. Hence this x is called as a random variable. So here we say x is my random variable that counts the number of heads. And what are the possible values of x? That is 0, 1 or 2. Let's take one more example. We are picking a 3 random balls from a bag that contains 3 red or 4 white balls. Total number of balls कितनी है? 7, जिसमें 3 red balls है and 4 white balls है. अब हम यहाँ पे randomly 3 balls pick कर रहे हैं बैग से. Now I am defining a x, that is a random variable, denotes the red balls. सिर्फ red ball की तरफ हम focus कर रहे हैं. What are the possible values of x? अगर आपने 3 balls बैग में से निकाली हैं, क्या क्या केसेस है कि वो red balls होंगी? हो सकता है तीनों की तीनों balls हमारी white हो. So we can say the value of x is 0. हो सकता है सिर्फ एक बॉल रेड हो बाकी वाइट हो, और two balls are red, or all these three balls are red. So these are the possible values of the x, where x is a random variable that counts the number of red balls. Basically random variable translate कर रहा है हमारी हर outcome को into a number, or we can treat it as a function. Outcomes is assigned as real number. Next, we have types of a random variable. So the first type of a random variable is discrete random variable. Now, what do you mean by this discrete random variable? Discrete means the number that we can count, जिसको हम count कर सकते हैं. अब अगर हमारे पास कोई random variable है और random variables की values countable है, like a 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's sure that after 3 the number is 4. So this type of a data is called as a discrete data, and whenever the variable values is equal to the discrete one, then this is the case of discrete random variable. On the other hand, we have a continuous random variable. Continuous random variable means it takes uncountably infinite values or any value in an interval. Suppose we have this interval 1 to 2. Now my question is, how many numbers are there? There are infinitely many, because हमें नहीं पता 1 के बाद क्या है, that is 1.1 or maybe 1.01, or we can say that 1.001. So there are uncountably infinite values. So जब भी possibility होती है कि value of random variable is in certain range, that comes under the part of continuous random variable. So taking an example for the discrete random variable, that is the number of heads in a two coin tossed. So अभी अभी हमने ये केस किया है, अगर आप two coins को toss करते हो, what are the possible values in a sample space? That is, both are containing head, or any one of them is containing head, or none of them is containing head. So in this case, what we are saying, x is a random variable that defines the number of heads. तो क्या क्या possibilities है x की? Maybe 0 head, maybe 1 head, और 2. So हमारे यहाँ पे x की values क्या आ रही है? Countable. So this example comes under the part of discrete random variable. On the other hand, if we take measuring height, सपोज आपके पास एक सैंपल स्पेस है जिसमें आप हाइट ले रहे हो बिटवीन 140 सेंटीमीटर टू 190 सेंटीमीटर. नाउ रैंडम वेरिएबल हम यहाँ पे डिफाइन कर रहे हैं z, that says that z is the height of randomly selected student. अगर आप randomly select करते हो कोई भी स्टूडेंट, आप उसकी हाइट क्या कहोगे? Is this is 150 सेंटीमीटर or 155 centimeter? It may be 150.5 centimeter, or we can say that जो भी वो height आएगी, we don't know exactly वो height क्या है, 140, 141, 142, 143, maybe 143.2. So हमें नहीं पता exactly values क्या आएंगी, but we can sure that the answer is between 140 to 190 centimeter. So again we are talking about the range, therefore this comes under the part of continuous random variable. Now let's take one more example. Suppose you are in a race and we are saying x is a random variable that calculates the time taken to finish a race. Now in this case x जो आपका random variable है वो discrete है या continuous है? अगर आपको रेस फिनिश करनी है, कैन यू से दैट इज एग्जैक्टली इन अ 10 सेकेंड, एंड आफ्टर दैट इट इज जस्ट 11 सेकेंड, नॉट इन बिटवीन दिस? नो, इट कुड बी 10.23 seconds, maybe 10.234 seconds, and so on. Suppose the minimum time is a 10 second and a maximum is a 30 second. So it means This is an example of a continuous random variable. Taking one more example, let's suppose x is a temperature at noon tomorrow. क्या ये फिक्स वैल्यू आएगी या एक रेंज में आएगी? दैट इज इन अ रेंज, बिकॉज अगर मैं कहूँ आज 32 डिग्री टेम्परेचर है, कल भी 32 होगा या 31 होगा, वी डोंट नो, इट कुड बी 32.35 सेल्सियस. सो अगेन इट इज इन अ रेंज. So it means this is also an example of a continuous random variable. So very first thing is what the statement is, always construct a sample space, then think कि random variable हमारा क्या है, and then think करो क्या वो fixed values दे रहा है या फिर वो एक range में value देगा. तो अगर fixed है, that is comes under the part of discrete random variable, otherwise continuous random variable. So I hope now you are familiar with the terms random variable, discrete random variable and continuous random variable.